Galati is a true Romanian landmark in cultural and human values. This city on the cusp of the Danube recounts its story through the historical collections housed in its museums, making a tour of Galati museums a must for any traveler, taking them on a fascinating trip into the city's unique past and present. The Răzvan Angheluță Natural Science Museum Complex is one of Romania's greatest museum institutions, enriching the scientific record, contributing to green education. The science collection of the museum comprises items of great value, having excellent collections of birds, mammals, reptiles, mollusks, minerals, and fossils. Set up in 1990, the Botanical Garden stretches over 18 hectares on the left bank of the Danube, around the imposing building of the museum. It has a number of sections, such as Flora of the World with its Japanese garden, Useful Flora, and the hothouses, offering visitors the unique opportunity to relax in a unique and luxuriant environment of greenery and tranquility. The Rosarium has a wonderful collection of roses, one of the largest in the country, with over 350 varieties from the Thea hybrida, floribunda, and miniature classes, as well as landscape, climbing, and creeping roses. In 2004, the Botanical Garden acquired its tropical and subtropical collection with cacti, euphorbias, and palm trees. The ornamental florist section is the backbone of the Botanical Garden, running north to south on the sides of a two-way alley, with 15 decorative plant islands spread along the length of a variety of shapes and sizes. The aquarium in the building's basement has an impressive collection of fish species from the lower Danube basin and the Mediterranean Sea, as well as species of the tropical sweetwater fauna. You can admire here over 800 individuals of 70 species, among them the only aquarium in Romania with piranhas brought from the Amazon. The aquarium is an especially serene place, delighting the senses with the fascinating play of light and color, providing the visitor with a feeling that time has stopped and they can simply immerse in the natural wonders that surround them. The planetarium is on the second level of the building, where you can also visit two permanent exhibitions, one dedicated to the solar system and the other to the universe out there. The projection hall has a dome 7 meters across with the latest generation digital projection system, which offers guests captivating shows about the planets and the Milky Way. This is the place where the imagination can roam the universe, and the traveler can scrutinize celestial bodies thanks to the plethora of equipment available to the public in the observatory. This is the largest and most modern public observatory in the country, with a retractable roof and the latest generation optics unique in Romania. One other section of the Răzvan Angheluță Natural Science Museum complex is the zoo. Stretching over 7 hectares, this major tourist attraction of Galați is in Gârboavele Forest, within easy reach of the city, home to a wide range of animal species from all over the globe. The Petru Karaman Village Museum, a majestic building surrounded by a wide open space, lies surrounded by nature in Gârboavele Forest, 15 kilometers away from Galați. It is an open-air museum that reproduces homesteads specific to this area, showcasing the life and traditions of a village typical of the lower River Prut area. The crowning achievement of a European project, the Galați Village Museum is a small-scale reproduction of a village hearth. At the museum's core lie 3 traditional households from the Galați area and another from Cahul County in the Republic of Moldova. The collection of authentic traditional objects includes pottery, icons, sitting chests, towels, wooden utensils for household use, carts and weaving looms, and bespeaks the craftsmanship of the people inhabiting these parts. You can find in the museum collection traditional towels, sheets and bedspreads woven out of wool, as well as sitting chests with brightly adorned lids, surrounded by brightly colored carpets of inestimable historical and research value, by both their beauty and their age. The Petru Karaman Village Museum is the one place where traditions are on display, ready to be taken in by people who love traditions and origins. Visitors can take part in village dances or attend old-time seasonal rituals. It brings back the magic of a simpler time, one richer in beliefs and rituals, which you can still experience in this special place. Inaugurated in 1967, the Galați Museum of Visual Arts is the first contemporary art museum in Romania, designed to emphasize the latest trends in fine arts, continuing to fulfill its mission to this day. The Galați Visual Art Museum was an oasis of independent thinking for creators who were not endorsed by the state in its early days, at a time when independent creation was almost impossible to conceive of. This was the first and only museum where anything that could not be put on display anywhere else found a home. Maybe it was the Freeport character, the unconventionality of Galați that made that happen. The Visual Art Museum's collection focuses on painting, sculpture, graphics, and decorative art, gathered there since its inception in 1967, down to this day. Its halls have on display around 200 works by contemporary artists that represent the best of a much ampler stock, in addition to a virtual collection. The galleries of the Galați Visual Arts Museum house works of inestimable value by Romanian classics of painting, offering the visitor the opportunity of real rapport with these masterpieces. Most of the museum's collection, with over 6,000 pieces, is in conservation in the museum's storage. But the institution organizes periodic exhibitions to bring most of it to the public. The priceless collection includes paintings by the most prestigious fine artists of the late 19th and early 20th century, like Teodor Aman, Nicolae Grigorescu, Nicolae Tonița, Ion Țuculescu. Internationally famous contemporary Romanian artists have contributed famous pieces to the museum. The Museum of Visual Arts reaches out to the public in more ways than one, by both its research and documentation activities and its exhibitions beyond the traditional in art, beyond the traditional museum, expanding its displays to unconventional spaces. Walking down the riverfront in Galați, you can peruse at length its unique collection of metal sculptures, which Romanian artists from all over the country have been putting here going back 40 years. Most of them prize-winning creations from art camps and competitions. The riverfront in Galați is like an open-air exhibition of metal giants. This is one of the city's most striking areas. It is a museum in itself, circumventing the usual idea of museum. On the 24th of January 1939, the city of Galați welcomed the opening of the Cuza Vodă Museum, later known as the Galați History Museum. Known now as the Paul Păltănea History Museum, it houses an invaluable collection of over 60,000 items. The museum numbers among its rarities the 3rd century CE grave of Innocentius. You can find here important collections, such as the archaeology collection of items unearthed at multiple sites, proving continuous habitation in these lands since the Paleolithic. In the northern part of Galați County, research was conducted at sites producing artifacts 20 millennia old. Archaeological digging revealed at one of the sites an abundance of Roman artifacts showing a blend of the Dacian and Roman civilizations. The fruits of this field research make up the golden core of the museum's vast collection. One of the History Museum's sections is the Cuza Vodă House in the city of Galați, and it is set up in the house in which Prince Cuza was born. He lived here with his wife Elena right after their marriage, when he was head judge of the city and prefect of the county. The complex has 2 buildings. The main building houses the permanent exhibition, while the smaller building houses various temporary history exhibitions on a variety of themes. The main building has an impressive lobby and 2 spacious halls on either side. Here you can see an 1898 De Dion Bouton automobile with an internal combustion engine. This automobile is one of only 3 known to still be functional to this day, being kept in good working order by the museum's conservation experts. One of the halls is dedicated to the progress of science and technology at that same time, and visitors can see there 2 engines which powered farming equipment, a loom, antique typewriters, and an upright piano. The first 3 rooms on the ground floor reproduce period salons with antique furniture, and visitors can admire here the Louis XV and XVI furniture, the bookcase given as a gift by King Carol I to Prime Minister Mihail Cogălnicianu, clocks and barometers from the 19th century, alongside weapons and clothing belonging to the prince and his wife. On the top floor, you can find collections of documents signed by Prince Cuza, as well as his genealogy. Known around the neighborhood as Țink Pharmacy, the building that acts as headquarters of the Galati House of Collections has been a landmark since its building, even though it was initially an apothecary family business and a home. Today, the House of Collections is the home of the exhibitions Galați Interiors of the late 19th, early 20th century and the Macșai collection. In the first exhibition, the matched eclectic Biedermeier-inspired furniture, paintings and family photographs, the silverware that used to belong to the European Danube Commission, all these transport the visitors into another era, absorbing them into the atmosphere of the Europe of yore. They are invited to breathe for a while the air of 19th century Galați in an impeccably reproduced environment. The second exhibition is a special collection left behind from the turn of the 19th century photography shop owned by George and Jan Mașcai, a name still remembered in the city. By the very nature of the art, this exhibition is the perfect choice for any lover of history. Right now, the House of Collections hosts the exhibition entitled Smaranda Brăescu, Queen of the Air. She is a Romanian pioneer of flight, as the first Romanian woman pilot and the very first licensed skydiver in the country. Also there you can see personal objects belonging to her older brother, Dumitru Brăescu, a well-known painter and graphic artist of their time. Initially the home of the 6th Company 24th Infantry Regiment, the Hortensia Papadat Bengescu House was built between 1872 and 1874. The famous writer lived in this house for a while. When this last military barracks in the area, the village of Ivești, was dismantled, the Ministry of Defense transferred the building into the custody of the local council. In 2006, the local council agreed to donate the premises to Galați County Council, and the Galați History Museum took over. The Hortensia Papadat Bengescu Memorial House became a section of the Museum of History, with exhibitions of memorabilia from personalities born in the village, including 2 writers, 1 poet, 3 generals, and published economy and agronomy experts. The Ioan Avram Dunăreanu country house in Suhurlui village was erected by Andone and Maria Avram, a couple of well-to-do peasants in the early 20th century. You can find plenty of household and farming tools there, such as flax combs and flax beaters of various sizes, black pottery, and looms with changing parts. The Ioan Avram Dunăreanu country house is home to the exhibition entitled The Traditional Peasant Household.